Carry a gun so you're hard to kill. Know the law so you're hard to convict. That's our tagline here at Law of Self-Defense. And as you might imagine, I carry a gun. So I'm hard to kill. So my family is hard to kill pretty much every day and have for more than 30 years. I've shared my EDC carry with you before, how it's set up. But my lovely wife, Emily, has purchased me a new concealed carry pistol for Christmas. And I just finished getting it set up and sighted in. So I thought I would share with you both the previous gun I carried and the new gun that I'll begin carrying moving forward. I am, of course, Attorney Andrew Branca for the Law of Self-Defense. And for those of you who stay to the end, I'll share with you how you can get a free copy of our best-selling book, The Law of Self-Defense Principles. This is the handbook to being hard to convict if you're ever compelled to use force in defense of yourself or your family. Stick with us. I'll show you how to get it for free. All right, so the previous setup that I've been carrying for 3 or 4 years now, this gun is hot. So I will first unload it, double check, drop the trigger, and here it is. This is a SIG 365 XL. It's been a great little gun. The grip module is not from SIG. This grip module is from Bore Sight Solutions. It's a customized grip module. It was fairly expensive. I think it was about $300. The OEM grip module that SIG provides with the 365 XL was not something I liked very much. I very quickly switched initially to a Wilson Combat grip module. And of course, one of the benefits of the 365 XL system is that it's modular in the sense that you can swap out the grip modules without having to swap out the fire control unit, which is the technical legal part of the gun that's the firearm. So you don't have to go through the FFL process just to swap out the grip modules. The Wilson Combat grip module was probably about $100. It was quite good, but I had the opportunity to shoot this grip module on a trial basis for several days, put several thousand rounds through the gun, and really liked it and decided to buy it. So it's been great. The sight is a Holosun 507K green, so it has a green dot. I don't remember the MOA. It's probably about a 2 MOA dot. And it has a circle around the dot, which is not something I'm a huge fan of, but it came with the sight that way. So that's the pistol setup. I typically carry it with a flush-fitting 12-round magazine. You can put a 15-round magazine in here as well, or, of course, there's a 10-round option, I expect, for those states. Now, the holster is from Keeper's Concealment. This is, I believe the model is called the Errand. It's got a rounded bottom. It's a very straightforward, simple design. It's got a closed loop. And this bag on the back comes from Mastermind Tactical. It didn't come from Keeper's Concealment. It's an add-on. When you buy this holster, it comes with a number of plastic foam wedges. The point is to push the bottom of the holster out away from your body, and that tucks the grip in. Those wedges never held up very well for me. They tended to flatten out and deteriorate pretty rapidly. But this little bag, which comes flat with some stuffing material you can put in, how much stuffing determines how puffy it is, it's been great. I really highly recommend this for this kind of holster. It makes it extremely comfortable to wear. Another great thing about this holster is it's very easy to slide on and off. You slide it on over your pants hem, the waistband of the pants, and the belt slides right through the closed loop. And I might put this on and off several times in a day. So very convenient for that purpose. I didn't get another Keeper's Concealment holster for my new gun for reasons I'll explain in a moment. But this is essentially the setup I've been wearing for about 4 years. I have maybe 10,000 rounds, at least 10,000 rounds through this gun. It's been fine, no major malfunctions. I can't really recall any malfunctions, but I'm sure there must have been a few, but nothing very notable. It's been a great, handy little package. Also proved very accurate and very pleasant to fire. So, a nice package. But nothing stays the same forever. And I had mentioned to my lovely wife, Emily, that some of the guys I knew were shooting a different pistol that was interesting to me, and she bought me one for Christmas. And this is a Glock 43X. This is also hot, so let me clear this out. and double check, drop the hammer, and we're good to go. So the Glock 43X, it comes with factory 10-round magazines, but in fact, I have the Shield Arms, I think they're called, Shield, 15-round magazines. Picked up several of those. This, not dissimilar in size to the 365 XL. Let me hold them up beside each other like so. Very similar kind of footprint. This also has a hollow sun sight on it, but instead of the 507K that I have, which is an open emitter design, this is a closed emitter hollow sun EPS carry. So the emitter has glass in the front and the back and is completely enclosed in this case. Enclosed emitters is the new hot thing, so I thought I would try it out. And this has something that my SIG didn't have, which is a light on the front. It's a TLR 7X sub from Streamlight, I think. Yes. I've never carried a light on a gun, a concealed carry gun before, but they make them small enough now on these packages, and some people I respect do carry with this setup, so I thought I would give it a try. I don't have a lot of rounds with this gun, just a couple hundred rounds. I did, of course, sight in the dot to make sure that was the point of intended impact was where the rounds were going to make it suitable for carry. Oh, I should mention, I also did add an aftermarket mag funnel here, also from Shield Arms, which I thought was a nice bit of kit. And when you use the Shield Arms magazines, because they're metal magazines as opposed to the polymer magazines that Glock provides, the Glock magazine release from the factory is also polymer. You want polymer mag release on a polymer magazine, but you want metal on metal. So when you use the Shield Arms mags, which are metal mags, you also have to replace the magazine catch with a steel magazine catch, which I did here. So that's all taken care of. And again, these are 15+1 for a flush fit magazine, as opposed to the 12+1 in the configuration I was carrying, the 365 XL. So I've shot this at the range, as I said, to sight it in, put a couple hundred rounds through it. It's different than the 365 XL. I have to say, it feels different. I don't shoot it quite as well yet. I think that's just a matter of becoming more familiar with how the trigger operates, because it's a Glock trigger instead of the SIG trigger. They're both striker-fired guns, but on the SIG, the striker is completely cocked already before you begin to manipulate the trigger. All the trigger does is release the striker. On the Glock, the striker is partially cocked, but as you're depressing the trigger, you cock the striker the rest of the way with the trigger press, and then the trigger also releases the striker. So it's a different trigger feel. The Glock trigger also, of course, has that little lever in the middle. It's one of the safeties built into the gun, kind of a passive safety, I guess I would call it. It's not something you need to think about. It's depressed as soon as you put your finger on the trigger. It was quite uncomfortable, that little tag, when I shot the gun the other day. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe my finger just needs to get accustomed to it. Or I may end up putting a different trigger shoe on here, the trigger shoe being the part of the trigger your finger touches, or perhaps even a full Apex trigger replacement, drop-in replacement. I'm going to put a couple thousand rounds through the gun with the factory trigger first and see how that goes before I decide to make any changes. Now, the holster I got for this gun, and let me explain why I didn't get a Keeper's Concealment holster. I've been very happy with the Keeper's Concealment holster with my 365 XL, but when I looked on Keeper's Spencer Keeper is the owner of Keeper's Concealment. When I looked on Spencer's website, he did not appear to have a version of this that would accommodate the light. And I wanted to give the light a chance. So I looked for other holster makers, and I found a company that had good reviews that I was not familiar with. I haven't bought a holster in years. The name of the company is Tenicor, Tenicor. They're not hard to find. They have quite a bit of social media and a very professional website. And I got this holster. It's the Sagax Lux, Sagax Lux, the Lux presumably because it's designed to accommodate the light. This is a Kydex holster, or whatever plastic they use. It's a plastic type holster. It seems very well designed. It does have a feature that so far I'm not a fan of, and that is it has these metal clips that are very aggressive. In fact, they have a little tab on the inside. I don't know if you can see that. You could basically wear these like over a pair of jeans without a belt, and that little tooth on the inside of the clip would dig into your material of your pants when you drew the pistol, so the holster would stay in place, which is neat. But it's quite difficult to put on. Part of the problem is these metal tabs. They have this bottommost edge here that kind of protrudes, and it catches on fabric when you're putting the holster in your pants. I have to say I haven't liked that feature very much. Now, I'm going to keep working with the holster and see if I can adjust to this or figure out a modification. I did call Tenacor or emailed them about this and a couple of other matters. And I have to say their customer service has been amazing. I mean, they typically respond back to me within an hour or so. And I asked them about the clips, and I asked if there was something more like what I have on my Keeper's concealment holster, just a sealed plastic loop, basically. Instead of these very aggressive metal clips, and they really like their metal clips. I think they might have been a little bit offended by the question. I was hoping there would be some plastic type alternative, but the answer is no. So apparently these clips are what you get with this holster. They did also tell me if I wasn't happy with the holster, I could return it to them, which is very kind, of course. So a very generous return policy. So I'm going to keep working with this holster and see how that goes over time. And I fully expect over the next few months to put several rounds through this Glock 43X and learn how to run this gun at the same kind of high level that I was running the 365 XL. And I think that is all I have to say about my new Pistolero. Thank you, Emily, my lovely bride, very much for making sure your husband is more than adequately armed to be hard to kill, to make my family hard to kill. Yeah, everyone should be so lucky as to have a wife like mine. Now, before I wrap up, I do want to remind all of you that you want to be hard to convict as well as hard to kill. Good way to do that, first step, is to get a copy of our best-selling book, The Law of Self-Defense Principles, for free. This book is your handbook to how to be hard to convict if you're ever compelled to use force in defense of yourself, your family, or your property. Best of all, people tell us they read it typically in an afternoon. All the legalese is translated into plain English so you can make better informed, more confident, more decisive, and more lawful decisions in defense of yourself, your family, and your property. Check the book out on Amazon, but don't buy it there. They'll charge you $25 plus shipping and handling. We only ask that you cover the cost of shipping the book to you. The book itself is free, and you can get this, The Law of Self-Defense Principles, for free at lawofselfdefense.com/free book. And until we meet again, I'll just remind all of you, you carry a gun, so you're hard to kill. You also want to know the law, so you're hard to convict as well. Until we meet again, I remain Attorney Andrew Branca for the lawofselfdefense.com. Stay safe.